It's Durban here, and this is a hobby update for April. We've had a pretty good weekend, Easter long weekend. I've got a lot done, had a lot of fun as well doing other activities. Um, First up I've got is the plinth. I haven't actually stuck this down yet, so this is for the bolt action paint off. For the Day of Days miniature. Out visiting my parents for the weekend, and just on one of the days, and chatting with my dad, wandering through the shed, and we found a nice bit of timber and edged it up. Never made a plinth before, so see how we go. Not exactly sure how I'll mount this, if I'll do it square or whatever, but I'll actually mount the miniature first to the tags, and then I'll work out how I'm going to do it. It's a bit big, but oh well, that's what we found. I've got some. That's a pack howitzer and a QF 6-pounder, just to add to my Behind Enemy Lines project. I purchased them in March so I could enter Warlords competition that they had, which is pretty cool, but of course yet again I didn't win, but that's okay. These were interesting to put together. I mean they're great, but they were difficult to get together. So I've really only got the base coats on them. I'll work my way through getting together, but you can see, especially on this one, actually maybe if I turn it this way, the gun shield's not straight. In the end I just sort of gave up and went with it. It doesn't look too bad. And that's a little pack out, so that wasn't too hard, just a little fiddly, especially with the sight here on the side to get on, but that wasn't too bad. And I have all of the guys primed and ready to go. So there's 6 of them, so they're all good to go. The other thing I worked on was this house. I'll just move these two out of the way. Or barn, I should say. This is the barn. So this goes with the little shed I made. I was going to do a tutorial on this one, but I've been mucking around with it to work out slightly different techniques. I've changed how I've mounted the roof. The other one just sat on. This one I've cut in for the beams. So the roof is pretty much finished. I'm just going to put some rocks on it and maybe a bit of dirt and maybe some little bit of foliage, just to sort of show that it's old and weathered. So that's all balsa wood. The whole roof is just balsa wood carved. And this is the house. So MDF for the base, foam core on the sides, and then I use air drying clay, and then I sculpt that on the side. And the timber here is balsa wood, so I've still got to paint the timber, but the stonework is done. It's a bit bright, but I'll weather that once I'm finished. Trying to decide what I'll do on the inside. I might put in some like stalls, since this is a barn, and I need to make the doors for it. So I mean this has come up pretty well, and it came together over the weekend as well, so it's come together pretty quickly. I had the base. I cut out the MDF base months ago, and I never got around to finishing that. Finish starting it really. If you want to know the paints I use for the timber, I start with dryad bark, and I then slowly add in it's just a Vallejo Surface Primer grey, and I work that sort of maybe 3 or 4 times until I'm straight up just to the grey to get that effect. It's just dry brush, so it's just solid colour of dried bark and then dry brush up. With the stonework, I just use, again, I use Surface Primer black and then grey, mixing them in together all the way up to just straight grey. Pretty simple, pretty easy to do. The other thing I've been working on is, I'll sort of show it here. So this is just some sandpaper that I use for roads on my board. What is that? P400. So it sort of looks like more like an asphalt sort of bitumen road, but I've been wanting to do some sort of paved footpath, and this is just a bit of foam core, 3mm foam core, where I've taken the paper off and then just sort of cut and then run with the pen the shape. So the end result I'm really happy with, but it's really light, so I'm not sure if it'll work, because if there's any sort of bow, there's not enough weight in it to hold the roads down. Normally I put the houses, if I can do this, on the edge of the road, holds it down, but I can't actually do that with this. There won't be enough space, but I'm not too concerned, because when I actually do it, I'll try it, I'll make longer sections, so we'll see how that goes. What else have I been doing? I've got quite a bit done. Got one of the guys here. So I've got all of my Armenian arches, so there's 12 of them, all just primed, ready to be painted. And I also have all of my English longbowmen all primed and ready to go, so they're all looking good and ready. And also, on an interesting note, the champagne sparkling white that my wife drinks, they changed the corks, and really weirdly, the where is it? Here's some blue tack. The blue tack doesn't stick to it anymore, so I had heaps of troubles, like didn't stick to it. So I got a little bit frustrated, and I painted the tops of some with PVA glue, and it sticks to it. So that solved my problem. I don't know. Just in case anyone else has now got corks, I don't know what's changed in them, but the blue tack doesn't stick to them, but a bit of PVA glue on top, and it worked great. Yeah. So I hope you guys all had a good long weekend. If you got a long weekend, or you had a good weekend at least. I've got 4 days of work this week, and then I'm going to be away on holidays. I'm not even sure I'm going to have internet for a whole week. So we'll see how that goes. So I've got a few things I want to get done this week and finished, and get some videos up. And then I've got another week back at work, and then I'm off to Brazil again for 2 weeks. So it's busy sort of month or so ahead, but then things should calm down after that, hopefully. Anyway, have fun, keep hobbying, and I'll talk to you next time.